Alright, here we go. This is a custom game on Chasm between the red team in the upper left. It is Happy Death in the Apache Helix and SkyWarp99 in the Void Striker and their opponents, the Carbon team, on the bottom right-hand corner. It is xxHERZOGzwei in the Black Ops Striker and LeAssassin in the Camo Paladin. So, only one Striker on each team. That's not bad. And then we have Helix and Paladin as the complementary mech. It's kind of sad to think about it that way, right? So it does look like XXHERZOGzwei immediately shooting the T-99 and Happy Death right there to harass him. Actually not that far from getting the kill, which is kind of funny, and will start to ferry down units now. What was LeAssassin doing initially? LeAssassin was bunkering creeps. Okay, so just taking precautions against the cheese, or the light unit rush, or whatever. Happy Death now hiding units. Oh no, I thought he was going to hide a unit up here, but actually putting it in attacking range of those, of the outposts and the units over there. So let's see, 28 to 26 for upkeep out on the field. And XXHERZOGzwei go out really overextending there, getting killed by a Seeker, but taking a lot of damage in the meantime. It is actually 4 Seekers down here for the red team, and only one Longhorn. Now a second one does go down finally. Carbon team, I guess that's kind of luck in terms of who grabs it in these Chasm cases where there's just, you know, one team's units on one side, one team units on the other side, and it's just whenever the creep, like timing wise, which one gets there first. It's kind of strange. But 45 to 40, it's a pretty even game with the tank up here still shooting these And Happy Death now coming with a couple of Mortys, so he will actually be able to take this outpost. Oh, so, well, it's brute filled though. So it starts out as brute filled. The SkyWarp is here to aid, and LeAssassin is going to try to take this back, but the red creeps or red infantry going first, while XXHERZOGzwei is actually trying to cheese this side as well. So those are Sams, I think, but the red team easily taking this outpost under their control, and has a lot of units, had a lot of units in their build queue, and LeAssassin's, yeah, that, I mean, he tried whatever he could do to get that outpost neutralized or re-neutralized, but now the 4 Sams will actually take this outpost back, and 1, 2, 3. Oh, so the 1 Sam did die. Herzog went back to his side of the map to take one more infantry, and he was able to get that outpost under his control. 3 Seekers down, which actually does neutralize the biggest threat in, you know, modern day air mech, which is the mech for sure. But red team actually has redirected a lot of their forces to try to push this bottom left outpost. Is XXHERZOGzwei going to be able to hold this? LeAssassin is now okay, so he's trying to take back his outpost, and Happy Death almost able to kill that Seeker, but this unit's coming in. It's kind of a big threat, and a lot of units over here, a lot of Mortys. This outpost will probably be neutralized as both mechs are over here to fight it. Okay, well, SkyWarp is over here. I guess he was retreating, and now LeAssassin dropping the flackers. A lot of carbon units have been killed, but a couple more got planted down by LeAssassin. Will the red team be able to take that back, this outpost? Yes, they do. They do get it back under their control, and the carbon team is retreating. They are forced to retreat, but they are going to easily win the mid-fight if they, oh boy, what's happening here? These are moving. I don't know where they're moving to. Yeah, whoa, that's kind of crazy. That is pretty crazy. It does look like the red team has moved their units back up to mid, so they really need to take, yeah, they really need to reinforce this, but it does look like, oh man, LeAssassin is doing a ferry over here to the short gap. Oh man, I don't think I've ever seen anyone do that before. That's pretty crazy. That is pretty insanity. This is a really interesting, like, layout of units right now. LeAssassin did not bring all the units over, and but the carbon team has a lot of units over here, forcing the red team back. And Herzog brings some creeps. He thought he was going to be able to take this outpost under his control, and they really need to neutralize it, but more red creeps going to go in, and a lot of the carbon units are going to be finished off here by the red team. SkyWarp with his Blade Guardians and Sword are going to make quick work of all these carbon units, and Happy Death finishing off all the creeps over here. LeAssassin bringing down more units to reestablish the units at the mid-fight, but it does look like SkyWarp is intelligently bringing units over the gap now that they do have an advantage in this mid-fight. It is 99 to 35. That they are way over their unit cap. right now, I guess they were able to spam a little bit in their build queue once they took that middle outpost for, like, you know, once they briefly took that middle outpost, and the Carbon team is actually held on the right side. I thought that the red team would bring more and more across, but I guess they didn't have their micro mech on that side. happydeath in the Helix, ferrying over more units while SkyWarp was doing the same thing. That probably, I don't know, that might have been able to do it. They just needed to, to hold this line long enough for the Carbon units to not neutralize this middle outpost, I think. And now it does look like the red team is moving out. Are they moving down? There's a lot of heavy mines that LeAssassin put over here in precaution for this. I want to see what happens when you put this artillery on the corner to fire in. Oh, and now he's actually moving out. Whoa, that is weird. Okay, because the red team has redirected their units. happydeath has set him on follow, I think. And in the meantime, it does look like the mid-fight is has pretty much settled. Are there healing units down here for the Carbon team? Yeah, there are 2 ratchets. So what is happening over here? I have no idea what's going to happen. Okay, the Carbon team did not move out. The red team is going weirdly around. Oh, they are attacking mid from behind. Oh, this is so interesting. I never seen this before because I have not gotten to watch much Strike. And this wasn't really possible before Strike. I guess with V-Paths it was, but V-Paths were so unreliable, and now the pathing has gotten a lot better, and the unit navigation. And so happydeath, what is he going to do with these units? This is crazy. Where's SkyWarp? SkyWarp is coming back to the mid-fight, gonna start ferrying units over, and happydeath is not pushing the units into the Carbon clump. Okay, because I guess these units were moved up from the fort. I guess this is such a crazy game right now. The red team is going to fort. I think he's... Oh, no. I think he put it on follow? I don't know what's happening here. That's the one thing about xxHERZOGzwei. I really wish it was a lot clearer what command the, each set of units was on. And LeAssassin bringing back the one lone Archie, 98-49. This is not looking good for the Carbon team, especially this power, power clump right here in the middle of the Carbon side that the red team has. This outpost has gotten knocked down back to neutral, and xxHERZOGzwei trying to survive here using auto heal, and will probably be able to get back to his fort. Oh, will he? Oh man, yeah, barely. He does have afterburners, like a good striker should, I guess. And LeAssassin trying to do whatever he can, bringing an Archie by itself, and the units are coming up. Now the tanks are coming up, and the red team does not have this outpost under their control. So they will not be able to bring out any reinforcements. SkyWarp with a couple of creeps, but will he be able to get them in? I don't think they will be able to survive. No, one creep does get killed. The Carbon team will be able to take this outpost, this entire area back. That it was an insane exchange just now. And I think it greatly had to do with the big split down the middle of this chasm. The red team was not able to use any of these units, so their upkeep advantage was kind of nullified in the fact that they weren't able to use all the units they had on the field. SkyWarp, kind of a desperation move to cheese this post down here, and LeAssassin catching it really quickly. 2 of the SAMs get killed, so he's just going to use them for chip damage right now against the fort, but that will be handled really quick by both of the red mechs. In the meantime, happydeath will be picking off a couple of units on the side of this mid over here. It's still an upkeep advantage for the Carbon team, or sorry, for the red team, and they have a lot more maximum upkeep as well. The Carbon team finally did take back this outpost, but SkyWarp going to neutralize it pretty quick with the SAMs, and will he be able to take it under his control? It wouldn't really matter because he does not have any units to bring out of his queue to really contest this many Carbon units, and just so dropping the SAMs for a little bit of extra fort damage. LeAssassin able to fend off happydeath here, not getting too many units lost, 81-70, so they are still very much in this game. But the Carbon team does not have any artillery pointing into their mid-fight, unlike the red team. SkyWarp being chased away by LeAssassin there. The Carbon team might want to put 1 or 2 light units to prevent those SAM drops, because that's, the red team has been doing that quite a lot now. And not having to respond each time is kind of a good thing. Although 1 or 2 light units will fall very quickly to a mech, so there are definitely pros and cons. So now happydeath with a lot of units down here has set them on follow and is going to be bringing them to the mid-fight? No, he is moving them. I'm not really sure where he's putting them. I really want to see where he has directed those units to go. And LeAssassin desperately trying to hang on to whatever units he can here. The red team might actually start a ferry over here. I think they might have enough units to do so. happydeath picking off one Longhorn over here, and xxHERZOGzwei not able to fend that off. But throwing down a Whopper. Let's see what socket units does the Carbon team have. So another Whopper down on the field. They have a max upkeep of 83. Okay, 3 down actually over here. So it's 83 to 83 max between both teams. And where did happydeath just made him go over here? I'm not really sure why he didn't bring him either all the way over here, or maybe if he was going to reallocate them to do a top bridge push or something like that. But now the red team is putting them all on attack. xxHERZOGzwei has scouted that, so will they be reacting to it at all? All the red units do seem to be on attack right now, except for this clump of Longhorn over here. The Carbon team probably has a good chance of defending against this, depending on where the red team decides to go with those units. Now, in modern AirMech, you can do a lot of things. And they're actually stopping them right over here. So they are also doing a ferry over the shortest part of the gap on the Chasm, but it's caught by both of the Carbon mechs. But there are actually a lot of red units over here, so it's going to be hard for them to handle it. They might be able to kill a few, but there are too many over here, especially with both mechs ferrying over. So are they going to be pushing off to the side over here? There are 2 heavy mines over here for the Carbon team. And are they... Okay, they did not reset these from attack to hold position, so a couple of them are wandering, so they're losing a few units over there. It's actually 96 to 100, and now the Carbon team has pushed all the units from their top right down. Will they be ferrying it down here to push, or will they station it up here? I think stopping them right here might actually be a really good move. I'm not sure what units will be able to fire down there, but the red team already with Goliaths out on the field. Oh, and are they just going to mass push this in? Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Does LeAssassin have a attack aura and stuff like that? He has a defensive aura, which he is using since he is over here, and this is such a bottleneck for both teams. So I'm really curious as to what's going to happen here. This is one of the craziest fights I've ever seen. LeAssassin leading the way for his units, throwing his hammer and using that defensive aura on those units. But Goliaths are here over here for the red team, so that will be a little bit hard to handle. They really need a mech support. Both teams really need to use mechs to support their pushes, or moving their units moving. I guess it's hard to really name that to call that a push. And the red team's actually lost the majority of the units they have ferried over here. The Carbon team has a lot of units that they can use. Okay, on all red team's units are clumped up over here. Are they waiting to take the mid to start ferrying over? They definitely have the unit advantage if they start ferrying over. happydeath as a micro mech in that helix will be able to do it very quickly, and the majority of the Carbon team has their units slightly out of position. So they might be able to stay here and hold, but will they be able to do it? It's 84 to 98, so they do have a disadvantage in units on the field and power. This is one of the craziest games I've ever seen, mostly because of the insane pathing that's been happening, but both of the Carbon players are out of the fight right now, so the red team might be able to take advantage of this. LeAssassin coming back to the fight, sees a lot of his units are going in. The red team can't push up because of these heavy mines, but I don't know if it matters. Okay, the red team forced to retreat now, and we are back to square one, mid-fighting over the middle outpost on Chasm, I think, unless these units are on attack and they're just going to power right through, because this is a crap load of units. Not the entire force of the red team, or the Carbon team, because they have a couple units there, a couple units here, and a couple units, okay, actually just the Whoppers over there. But they are pushing the bridge, and it does not look like they are stopping. LeAssassin dropping a couple of random units here, but yes, the Carbon team does look like they are committing to this bottom bridge push. The red team does realize it's happening right now, but they do not have any units over here in defense. A Tesla tower, a good decision right there, but it definitely needs reinforcements and protection, because a Tesla tower by itself will die very quickly. Goliaths and Gorgons out on the field for the red team, but it's too far from this entire Carbon clump right here. They will be thinned out as there is no mech support at the moment. And are they being reassigned? Where did xxHERZOGzwei? xxHERZOGzwei is taking it to the mid, so they pushed over the bridge to go to the other side of mid. That is nuts. That's freaking nuts. And they still have the upkeep advantage, albeit not in late game units. So the Carbon team is in danger for sure because of this clump of Goliaths and Gorgons right here from the red team. They need to push together. The red team, no one's here. Oh my gosh, these Goliaths and Gorgons are just going to go into a slaughterhouse right now if they are not stopped. Okay, there you go. A couple of random tanks dropped here. I'm not sure what the goal behind that was. They're just like sacrificing their units, putting them in where the Carbon team has an advantage, and Carbon team is actually moving forward a little bit. I think LeAssassin has that on follow, so he can just have them stationed right over here, and he's probably going to stop them. And oh man, now we're gonna, okay, I gotta back out for this because this is craziness. This is craziness, and right now it does look like Herzog is trying to neutralize that outpost. That might be a great split of attention by the Carbon team. The red team all focused over here. Now happydeath does try to attend to this, but it might be a little bit too late. They might, okay, no, those were still the original brutes filling those that red outpost. So the Carbon team was not able to get that neutralized, XxHERZOGzwei specifically, and LeAssassin now forced to pull back. It is still their upkeep advantage right now, 80, well, it was 80 something before, 77 to 76. Okay, so it's getting very even. This is, wow, this is so intense. The Carbon team is holding right now. The red team forced to stay on the high ledge, and actually XxHERZOGzwei did get this outpost neutralized. I think that was XxHERZOGzwei. And oh man, do not do that in front of a couple Gorgons right there. That was not great by XxHERZOGzwei, and now it does allow happydeath to move one tier down. He's going to push his units down, but it does look like LeAssassin's using his units to do the same exact thing, and now they do have Goliaths in their mix as well. XxHERZOGzwei using Afterburners to get back to the fight as fast as possible. SkyWarp with another Goliath. And actually, the red team is losing a lot right now. The Gorgons leading the way, so I think the Gorgons are probably the tankiest thing right now. They're probably the tankier than Goliaths, so probably only Devastator, beats Gorgon's tankiness. I'm not exactly sure if it has more health than the Goliath straight up, but definitely for the cost, I bet you it is. Or for the upkeep, actually, excuse me. But either way, it is 69-67, so both teams are still frantically... Whoa, I hit escape there. Both teams are still frantically trying to take this area under their control. SkyWarp and happydeath are... See, the big difference here is SkyWarp and happydeath need to ferry units down, whereas LeAssassin and XxHERZOGzwei, all their units... Once they bring them out of queue, they're really close to where the front line battle is, and it does look like happydeath. Let's take a look at that. Going with some Mortys, oh, he's gonna go with a 4-drop. That's interesting. So trying to bring the Carbon team away for a little bit, and does force XxHERZOGzwei back. What will happydeath do with this short amount of time, finishing off one Longhorn over there? So now we are back to this mid-fight. This is where it's significant. Two Berthas down on the field for the Carbon team. I don't think there are any down for the red team, and they really definitely need them. But again, red team's army is much more Goliath heavy than the Carbon team's is. So, oh, and these are freaking out right there. Both mechs on the Carbon team scouting around, and Herzog taking out that lunchbox. Might have wanted to take out a Whopper or two instead, especially because they're not going to utilize that lunchbox kill in the form of fort drops anytime soon, I am guessing. Oh no, he did already. He dropped the Longhorn. I'm dumb. But yeah, anyway. Oh, a nuke! A nuke silo has been placed down. Where is the oh, right here. Oh man, you can see that the nuke is prepping for okay, so the Carbon team, or so the red team, has moved their main army units, their main mobile army units, out of the way, and the nuke silo, another one gets placed down, or a marker. So what will happen here? Is the nuke gonna come out? I don't know what the delay is actually. I think it's something like 30 seconds to a minute, and there you go. Number one gets thrown down, or gets. Oh no, actually no. Okay, he's still moving it around. He's still moving them around. This is really crazy. And red team forced to move again. Where is the nuke? Where is the nuke? I want nukes, damn it. There are two markers down on the field, and are any of them going to result in nukes being dropped? 2 Berthas down on the field for, actually 3 Berthas down on the field for the red team, and okay, 1, 2, 3 down for the Carbon team. The nukes still have not been dropped. That's crazy. I guess the Carbon team just continually repositions it, and I think that resets the timer or something like that. But it does look like LeAssassin is leading the way with a bunch of his units, and they might actually be able to clear the path here for the Carbon team. They are 20 upkeep ahead of the red team, and I guess xxHERZOGzwei with some SAM drops over here with nothing defending, and SkyWarp is actually just not moving. Oh man. But the Carbon team pushing up and clearing all the way up, clearing all the red team's units. Oh, and actually they pushed over the bridge. I did not see that. That is craziness. There's a marker down here, and the Carbon team actually took a little bit of damage over there, but it did what it needed to do, which was force the red team back a little bit, force them to be kind of frantic, allowed the Carbon team to push up those ramps, and now xxHERZOGzwei and LeAssassin are going to be able to take this top outpost under their control sometime soon. It does go back under red team's control because of the creeps, but it does go back down right immediately. Not too much Carbon presence over here, but now the creeps are freely going to be running over both bridges. Right now it's going to be this bridge because, oh, another marker down. I guess they have to reposition that. So, okay, and I think they are free to reposition the marker. It just resets the launch timer. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, someone leave a comment, but as far as I can tell just from watching this game, that is how it works. 57-72. I don't know what the red team can do at this point to really have a hope in the game besides just oh my goodness. And another marker going down. Not really needed. If I were them, I guess I'd probably try to put it over here or something like that, or at the other outpost. This other outpost is very heavy. So there's a couple of jokers over here for the red team. Doesn't look like they will have the opportunity to use them. And at this point, the Carbon team just slowly moving up, slowly creeping up, killing all the red team's units, 41-84. They are less than half of what the red team is less than half of what the Carbon team has out on the field right now. happydeath getting a minor Gorgon kill. I know it's a Gorgon, I know I said minor, but at this stage it is pretty minor relative to the rest of the rest of the army out on the field for both teams. And now it does look like LeAssassin is moving upwards. Is that nuke reallocated? I don't know where the marker went. I did not see that. I did not see where it went. I did not see a Carbon dot on the mini-map that looked like it should have been a nuke. But I'm guessing it was here or something like that, since these are... No, those look like they were just killed by a mech. Anyway, the red team does have this Joker Rush. I don't know what they think they can do with it, but let us see. They're probably set on attack with the intention of recommanding them to capture when the red team decides to, oh, but that doesn't really matter now, does it? Because the Carbon team's units hit the red fort and got the rest of the of the fort health down to 0. That was one of the most insane games I've ever seen. Great job by xxHERZOGzwei and LeAssassin for that. I guess you could call it a comeback, but whatever it was great. Also great play by SkyWarp99 happydeath. I loved all of that unit movement all over the map in Chasm. That actually restores my faith in Chasm just a little bit, to be honest. To be quite honest, it does make me feel a little bit better about Chasm because there are paths that you can take, albeit kind of crappy and bottlenecked, but there are a lot of ways to go, as we saw. So that was awesome, guys. Please send in your replays. And it's not only me that gets these. There's an entire pool of people, a pool of AirMech casters that have the opportunity to cast these. And if you want to try to get your feet wet with the casting bug, that doesn't make any sense at all, but you know what I mean. Just contact me or any one of the other more open people in the AirMech community. There's a lot of us here. We're still going. We're still chugging after 4 or 5 years. I don't even know how long it's been with this game. AirMech Strike is out, so the possibilities upcoming are endless, guys. So, yeah. Woo! Once again, great freaking game. This is Areyouwhy, and that is game. See you next time.